Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie, and if you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click that button down below and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Also, please don't forget to click that bell and turn on your post notifications so you can get notified of any future videos. All right, you guys, so today I am going to get ready for like a date night, and I am going to show you what look I am going to be creating for tonight. I kind of am feeling like a cut crease, so that is the vibe for today. I am going to put my hair in with clips because, you know, we don't want that in our face. I already have my brows filled in, as you guys can see, and my eyes are prepped and ready. So I'm gonna go in with the Nikita palette. You guys just saw me use this in my last video, and I wanted to show you guys that you can use this also for something glam. So, you know, nothing colorful, just very simple. So I'm gonna go in with these warm tones right here. I am going to be starting off with Artificial, which is this orange. Actually, no, I'm gonna go in with Vital. So I'm gonna go in with this one first. It's more of like a corally shade. I know it sounds weird that I'm gonna go in with like an orange coral, but I am gonna be using that as a transition shade. So you guys will see how it goes in, because I'm gonna use all these browns that have more of an orange tone. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna be going in with my Wet n Wild brush. It's a blending brush, and going in with that shade Vital. I'm just gonna start off by applying that in the transition area, and if it gets into the crease, it's okay. So I just want to have a lighter shade, and as you can see, it's not super duper bright. It's a nice light orangey shade, so it's not super dramatic, you know, and intense. So I'm just using that as our transition shade, so it's easier when I go in with darker colors. It's a lot easier to blend out, you know. So I'm just doing this. I'm applying that back and forth in windshield wiper motion. By the way, those flowers right there I got from Tom, of course, for Valentine's Day and our anniversary. They're so beautiful. I got an email, and we were laying in bed together, and I got an email, and I was like, I didn't order anything, because it says something was delivered for me. I was like, I didn't get, you know, order anything lately. So he was like, I don't know. And I was like, it just got delivered. So it was just delivered or whatever. So he was like, oh, I'll go get it, because I'm lazy to go downstairs and get my packages sometimes. So he was like, I'll go get it. And I was like, all right, thank you. So he went and got it, and then came upstairs with a big box, you know, the boxes, you know, the flower boxes. And I was just like, you know, because I really, like, he gets me flowers all the time, but I honestly wasn't thinking about it, I guess, that it was just super unexpected, you know. But I was so happy. I love him. He makes me so happy. And there are many times where he, you know, gets me flowers. He used to get me flowers literally every Sunday, and then he stopped, but then he just randomly goes out and gets me flowers. Like if he goes to the market and he sees like some nice flowers, he'll bring me flowers, or he'll stop at the florist and pick up something for me, which is really sweet. Like he's very thoughtful and just very sweet. All right, so as you can see, I blended that out. I also did that on this side. I also like to go in and try to kind of create a little wing with it, like blend it outwards. All right, so I think we're good on that. Now let me zoom you guys in a little bit. I feel like you guys are a little too far, so let me get you guys in a little closer. All right, so now that you guys are a little closer, I can share with you the next step. I am going to be going in with the Morphe M441, and I am going to be going in with Seduction, which is this shade here. With that shade, I am going to be tapping off whatever's on there. And now I'm just really going to stick this into the crease, just like that, right here in the outer V, and then going in the crease. Deepening it up. That's a kind of a difficult word to say really quick. So I'm going to deepen that up real quick, as you can see. Also make sure that you're not bringing it up too high, because that transition shade that we applied, we don't want that to disappear. We want that shade to still be visible, so it looks like a nice little gradient effect. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep blending that back and forth, really sticking it into that crease. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back in with my blending brush, that Wet n Wild brush that I used in the beginning, and no additional product. I'm just softening up the edges, making sure everything looks nice and blended. Okay, so that looks good. Now I am going to be going in with this brush. This is the Naked Honey double-sided brush. This one is more of like a blending kind of sided brush. This one is more of a shader brush side and also very kind of like precise. So I'm going to be using the smaller side. I'm going to be grabbing Prima Donna from the palette. I actually really like that name. So I'm going to be grabbing Prima Donna with that brush. And with that shade, I am going to start sticking that and lining the crease. So I'm just going to be doing this. As you can see, you see that? Just literally tracing my crease. And this is like the perfect brush for this. Usually I know people go in with more of like this kind of brush, like a pencil brush or like an angled eyeliner brush, but I feel like that's super duper like, but that's like more of like a defined cut crease. This one's more of like a soft still cut crease, like defined cut crease, if that makes sense. It's more soft looking. So I'm just gonna be going in and literally just tracing my eye just like that. You see that? Well, actually, now you see it. I think if I close my eye, you guys can see it better, but you see it? Or if I lift it, you guys can see it better. So I'm just gonna keep doing that, and I'm bringing it to the inner corner. Look at that. Beautiful. And it's blending with this brush. So you're not really doing too much work with it because the brush is doing all of it for you. Look at that. Gorgeous. I love that. And then also you can go in and just turn it to its side like this, no longer like that. You're gonna go like that and just also blend it to soften it up a little bit more if you want. You see? But it's still defined. You see that? Okay. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Also, another brush that I like to go in with is this one from BH Cosmetics. I've had this for years, and it's a perfect little pencil brush. It's like thick, and then it comes to like a little tippy point. And this brush is really good because you can stick it right into your crease, and it just softens it up if you really want to get in there. You see that? You could still see the line, but it's just softening it up for you. Now I'm gonna go in with that Wet n Wild brush. I'm telling you guys, that Wet n Wild brush or any blending brush like this is really important in this look. So now I'm just going in with no additional product again. Just whatever's left on the brush, I am just going over that and softening it up a little bit more, making sure everything looks smooth and not harsh. Alright, so now we're going to cut the crease. I'm going to be going in with some concealer, and first I'm going to go in with the flat shader brush. This one is a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH43. I usually go in with something like a ColourPop E3 or a Morphe M421, but I use this for my brows, and I feel like this would work really well for my brow, for the cut crease. So I'm going to do just that. And let's get in it. So I applied a little bit, I grabbed a little bit of the concealer. You want to take your time with this step because this part is really important with the look. So here we go. I'm actually going to stretch out my eye, and I'm just going to cut it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to go in with a ColourPop E3 brush just to get into that little rim of the eye. I'm also going in very like carefully, just trying to wing it out, and this is also going to help clean it. As you can see, look at that. You see that? So that actually looks perfect. I'm actually really happy with that. Now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to go back in with the JH43 brush, grab a little bit of that concealer, and start cutting that as well. Alright, so now I'm going to be grabbing my Sigma eyeliner E05 brush, and I'm going to be going in with the shade Prima Donna, which is the one that I already have in the crease. I'm going to use this pencil brush to just correct anything like the little wing that comes out or the crease itself. So I'm just going to do whatever I feel like needs a little touch up. Alright, so now for the lid, I am going to be going with the Morphe and Jeffree Star JS11, and I am going to be grabbing this shade. It's called 703. Woo, that's gold. We don't want gold, that's a squirt. We want 703, which is this shade here. And I'm just going to be applying that all over the lid. Or you can leave it, you know, the way it is, or going with augmented, but I want this shade. This shade looks gorgeous. Alright, so now that I'm done with my eyes for now, I am going to go off camera, apply some lashes, and I am going to be going in with the Eylure London Luxe XL Foam Mink in the style Indulgence. You guys know I love these. So I'm going to apply these off camera, and then I'll be back to continue on with the rest of the glam. Alright guys, so I'm back. This is what the eyes are looking like, and they look absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to move on to face primer. So my skin has been a little dry, and yeah, so I'm going to be going in with this right here. This is the Laura Mercier foundation primer, the hydrating one. So going in with a little bit of this to help my skin out because it's desperately in need of some like moisture. So, ooh, my hair gotta move back. Okay. So we're just going to apply that. I really like this one because, like I said, it just feels like I'm adding a moisturizer to my skin as well. So it feels really good. So I know my skin's going to have a nice base when I go in with my foundation. And I also like to go in and apply a little bit on the under eye. I mean, you can also go in with an eye cream, but I mean, I'll just work with what I have right now. So for foundation today, I am going to be going in with this. This is the Crease True Skin Hydrating Foundation. I said it. It's a foundation. This has hyaluronic acid, which is great, and it's long wear. So now I'm going to be grabbing my e.l.f. sponge, and I'm just going to start blending everything out. Alright, so now for concealer, I'm going to be going in with the CoverGirl True Blend. This one's in the shade M900. Grabbing my e.l.f. sponge again, I'm just going to start blending the under eye. Moving on to cream bronzer, I am going to be going in with my Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F13. I'm going to be using my Kenzie brush right here, and I'm just going to go in with the brush right into the foundation stick, swirl my brush in there, and I'm just going to place it where I want it. Usually I go in and draw it on, but lately I've been really enjoying just going in with the brush directly into the product and just blending it out and applying it exactly where I want it as I go. So look at that. Looks great. I love this one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. sponge and I'm just going to blend everything out and soften everything out. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to go in with my RCMA powder and I'm just going to set my under eye. To set my cream bronzer, I'm going to be going in with my NARS Laguna, and I'm going to grab my angled Kenzie brush, and I'm just going to set all of that. I am going to be going back in with my RCMA powder, and I'm just going to clean up a little bit, just like this. And now I'm just going to grab a brush like this. This one is from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to just blend it out. I'm not keeping it there for too long. I just wanted to clean it up because I felt like the bronzer was just a little too low for my liking, and it didn't really do much for my face. So there you go. And also that area is going to stay in place all day because I did powder it a good amount. I am going to be going back into the palette and I'm going to be grabbing a, let's see, I'm going to be going in with this brush again. This is the Urban Decay brush, and I'm going to go in with Fatale first. And I'm just going to apply it on the lower lash line. And now I'm just going to be grabbing a little bit of Seduction, which is this shade right here. It's the one that I applied in the crease. And now I'm just going to be going in with a little bit of Prima Donna, which is the one I use to line my crease. There you go. That is that. Now I'm just going to be going in with a little bit of mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess. And you guys already know this is like my favorite mascara. Now for highlighter, you guys, I'm going to be grabbing this one. This is the Benefit Cookie highlighter. I love this one. It's so beautiful. And this is the Nazani Kavari BH Cosmetics brush number 5 that I like to use to apply a highlighter. So I'm just going to apply that right on the high points, as you can see. And this highlighter is gorgeous. If you haven't tried it, you need to get it. It's beautiful. Look at that. It does such a good job. Apply a little bit on the tip, on the Cupid's bow. And a little on the bridge doesn't hurt anybody, so we're going to do that. Boom. That's that. I'm also going to be grabbing a little brush. So this is the Morphe JH42, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of that highlighter on the inner corner. Now for lips, I'm going to be going in with this lip liner right here. This one is from NYX, and this one is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade London. And now I'm going to be going in with this one from Maybelline. This is the Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Driver. I'm also going to add a little bit of this one. This one is the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer in the shade Unreal. And now to finish off the look, I am going to be going in with my Benefit the Professional Super Setter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. Alright you guys, so this is the final look right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this cut crease. I love it. I think it looks beautiful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give this video a big thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!